Broadcasting live from the only establishment in town that can't kick him out. His own basement. The world according to Rocket.
Yep. It is Rocket Man. What is up? How's everybody doing? Cheers. My fancy creamy root beer. You guys ever had any of this? Zevia? They're quite good. The root beer's good. And they got a million flavors. The thing I like about them, they're sweetened with stevia, and if you're diabetic, that has zero glycemic response. So, guess what I have waiting for me just around the corner from my computer? Another big plate of wings. Right? So, welcome. I got a whole bunch of crap yesterday, but 3,000 views. Thank you very much. When I made the bold statement that the Tennessee volunteer tackle football team was going to win the East. How do I know that? Well, I don't know that for 100%, but I just have a very strong feeling. Only because of the possibility. Let me just raise this up here. Oh, man, there we go. So, only because of the possibility, it's there. It's just sitting right there. Right? And I will explain all of this, and I want to get your input on it because first thing I'm going to do is read some of the comments. Excuse me. Read some of the comments today from the comment section. It's kind of crazy. Let me just run over there and grab some of those. Actually, I'm going to go down here to, I got a lot, 70 comments or so. Yeah. So there's a lot of them. But I wanted to share some of them with you because some of them are really, really good. So yesterday I did a video. If you haven't seen that video, just pop on over to that thumbnail right there, the Vols path to the playoffs, underdogs to champions, and just see my theory and see what you think. Love to have you comment on what your thoughts might be about that. And then there are some people that just didn't get where I was coming from. But this kind of starts it off. A lot of great comments here. We'll go from one of our regulars, Rando, who says, "There's a lot of ifing going on here, but I love your enthusiasm. Go Big Orange." And I responded, "There's a lot of effing ifing." And I will get right to it here in a little bit. G. White, man, he wrote me a book about this. You really might want to go have a read at some of these comments. They're quite good. You guys are smart. You're a lot smarter than I am. I have to work at being smart, but I have to work at appearing to be smart, but you guys seem to just be smart. Robert Duncan says, "Hey, Rocket, I'm right here with you. Go Vols." And Stingray made a comment that I thought was pretty cool, but I did not. I went to comment on it, and it was gone. So, sorry about that, Stingray. And I can't remember what it was. User -FI6HY Says Rocket, if frogs had wings, they wouldn't bump at their butt every time it jumped. LOL. But I am a Vols fan. And Mead Drinker, we all know Mead from our lives and from our watch parties. Have you done the computer models for the upcoming games of our opponents? See, that's a very respectful comment, giving me the benefit of the doubt. Well, let's just see how far he's looked at this. And I have not, because, see, I don't get the metrics that I need until Sunday morning about 11 o'clock. That's when I get the metrics. So I can't project what 11:18 is going to be, right? I can project who's playing this weekend and kind of get their numbers against their opponent, but I can't do that. And I went on to tell him that I, at the time of that comment, was working on the Georgia-Mizzou game, and I'll have that for you in just a tiny little bit. I'll kind of share that information with you because that is a big part of my equation. And then someone else, user-GB8, see, when I receive it in my back end of, oh, that didn't sound right at all, did it? When I receive it in the back end of my YouTube, it has the name of the person who submitted the comment. But here, it does something weird in the comment section. User GB8, blah, blah, blah. He says, the math don't add up. Georgia has no losses. They would have lost to Missouri, and that would make Missouri one loss. Tennessee would have to win out. Yeah, that was the very first thing that I said. Tennessee has to win the next 4 games. That's the predicate. That's what has to happen. If that doesn't happen, none of this is relevant. Yes, they have to win the next 4 games. Teddy Blue says, go Rocket. I love your commentary. I'm like you, all Vol, regardless. I really like it now because we're finally playing up to our potential. Less 3 and outs and red zone touchdowns, and they could win out. I think they could too, Teddy. Whether they will or not, I've been wrong about that a lot. Dustin Young says, if Georgia loses to either Missouri or Ole Miss and Tennessee wins out, we would be the East champions. Hello? That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of moving parts to this thing, and they could happen, right? That's all I'm saying. And I wasn't aware of that until I started looking for that, and I went, oh, okay. All right, let's see. Jim Pan, we will know 11:18 at 7 p.m. You're right. Yes, we will, and that is when our game with Missouri is over, right? Excuse me. Ken says if Nico plays, then Moore should get a shot. Also, he has more experience and look better than Milton and Nico in the fall game, in the spring. He said fall game, but he meant the spring game. I don't think we're going to see Gaston Moore anymore. I'm a big fan of his. I would have loved to have seen more of him, but I think he's done except for an emergency backboard situation, and we couldn't have one better than he. Because now we're so deep into the season being 2/3 over, they're going to have to get Nico some quality time on the football field with people who are coming back next year, who are going to be the first stringers next year, right? He's going to have some time. And this game this weekend with Connecticut would make sense that would be the time. And, of course, Vanderbilt, because we kind of beat them like a rented mule every year, right? So we're going to see, I feel confident that we're going to see Nico in the UConn game and the Vanderbilt game. Now, Gaston Moore may get a little mop-up duty in both of those games, like the last 2 or 3 or 4 minutes of the game, But if there's a different quarterback than Joe Milton the third, it'll be Nico, because he needs those reps. Purple Einstein says, Rocket Man, you is most definitely crazy with a K. I like that. But I sure do like it. It reminds me of a quote from one of my favorite movies, Dumb and Dumber. So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah, I'm telling you there's a chance. Here's a dude that says, pretty damn optimistic to say the least. But I ain't mad. Go Vols. Gerald Murphy says, I've been saying the same thing, Rocket. We have to take this on our shoulders and just take care of business. It's a doable situation. Nico will wow you this weekend. Get ready for it. And the blue uniforms. Run, Joe, run. I don't think they're the blue. They're not blue uniforms. They're the blue sleeves with the uniforms and the blue leggings, and the blue wristbands and that sort of thing. I don't think we're full out blue. I don't know. We could be. I don't know that for a fact, but I don't think we're going to be doing that. I don't think. Cars Tech Wood says, delusional. That would not be the first time that has been used and directed at myself. Joe Irvin says, I think you were dreaming. And I said, you know what, Joe? It's like a fine lock. Right? The tumblers have to fall in just the right combination. And if they do, that puppy will pop right open. If you know the combination, right? M.G. Way says, LOL, you lost your mind years ago. I said, let's just keep that between me and you. Man, there's just so many great comments. I don't want to take up your time. You can go read these things if you're interested. Now, here's something that's sobering. Came in today. Panda Man says, if Tennessee wins the SEC championship, then I think no SEC teams make it to the playoff due to the number of one-loss and undefeated P5 teams. That's an excellent point. You might be 100% correct on that. All right? And then I get a nasty little thing from Preston Sosa. He has what appears to be an Atlanta Falcon. What do you call those things? Avatar on his post. So he's a Georgia fan. So I said, here's what he said: such an insufferable fan base. Yeah, right. Like the Georgia fan base is so high and mighty, right? Mm-hmm. I thanked him. I wasn't rude. I wasn't angry. I just said, hey, thank you for the engagement and the comment. It helps the channel. And he said, at Nash Rocket Media, anytime, Big Daddy, and gave me a thumbs up. I thought that was good. I thought that was cool. Zach W. Vol for Life. That would be awesome. I would love to see us winning the SEC championship. However, I don't think that the people will vote for us, if we do, into the college football playoffs because of our 2 losses. Could be right again. Could be right again. Whiskey sucks. Yep. No respect for Lane Kiffin. Great piece on this. Yep, you are crazy, and that's why we watch you. Thank you. And then there's a couple more here. I'm going to let y'all well, let me get to this one. Lex Channel. I've been saying this because when Coop was down, that really hurt us for Florida. I knew Florida would implode. I still think the committee keeps us out even with the East and the SEC championship, but the upcoming class and returning Vols for 24, yeah, that puts us in a good spot. Hey, look, we just want to win the SEC East, right? We just want a shot at winning that SEC championship. And whatever happens after that really is after or out of our control. TJ Lift says, as a Tennessee fan, yes, you are definitely out of your mind. So there you are. A lot of great comments. Thank you so very much. Let me just pop in here. Cheers to Mead Drinker. That's what I meant, Rocket. The Saturday games. Oh, these Saturday games. Okay. Yeah, I got... what do I have? I have the ones that are important. The ones that are important is Missouri and Georgia. That's the game that's important Saturday, other than obviously Connecticut. Calvary Fusillade. I'm more nervous about Missouri game than the Georgia game at this moment. You know what? I kind of was, and then I got to thinking about this. Josh Heupel, since he's been at Tennessee, he's played Missouri twice, and he laid 60 points on them both times, on their field and on our field. I think now, obviously, he used to be the offensive coordinator there, right? So what? Seriously? He knows something. He's got something going on. He's got a little animosity about the way they treated him, I think. And I just think he's in their head, and I think he knows how to beat the crap out of them. I do. But having said that, I think Missouri has a shot at beating Georgia this weekend. All right? Let me get over here and show you what I am talking about here. Where am I going? I'm going to go here. Okay, so here is... Man, I got the burps. Here is the thing. Let's go here. Let me get me a little... The big game this weekend is ours, of course. Tennessee and UConn. We got to win that game. And style points are important, right? I mean, it would be nice to drop 60 on them again. I don't think that's going to happen. But it would be nice. No, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm thinking Tennessee, Mizzou. We've got Connecticut this weekend. So the game this weekend is this one right here that is super important. Missouri and Georgia. Georgia is a 16-point favorite. Now, my groovy computer model, and you got to admit, it's been pretty damn good, right? My computer model says 31-28 Georgia. That's a close game. That's the kind of game that could end up in one of them 56-54 triple overtime games, right? So I know what I'm going to do. I don't know if you're a betting man or not, or a girl, but I am going to put $100 down on Missouri this weekend and take the 16 points. That's what I'm going to do. Boom. Now, I'm just telling y'all out like it is. You'll know. 7 o'clock Saturday night whether your buddy Rocket Man made himself $100 or not. But I think that is an incredible bet right there. Unbelievable. Now then, we need Missouri to beat them. That will give them they'll still have one loss, right? If they beat Georgia, and then Georgia will have one loss, and they will be sitting like they are right now, 1-2 in the East, but they will both have one loss, right? So this is who we're pulling for Saturday. Now the following weekend, Tennessee is at Missouri. And I think, as I said, Tennessee has got to win these games. UConn, Mizzou, Georgia, and Vandy. And that is just simple. if we're going to win the East. This is all in the context of winning the East. And I know it's far-fetched. I know it's crazy. And I know it's not probable. But I think there is a whole lot of possible in it. Okay? From what I've seen. So Tennessee and Missouri play. So here they are. Missouri has one loss. Georgia has one loss. Tennessee and Missouri play on the 11th. And Tennessee wins that game. Now Missouri has 2 losses, just like we do. You follow me? Only we get the nod over them because we beat them head-to-head. So now Georgia's number 1, and we're number 2 in the East, right? Because we beat Georgia. Now that same weekend, Ole Miss is playing Georgia. And I tell you, Ole Miss is a dangerous damn team. They are dangerous. I can't stand him. But you got to respect him. He's a hell of a offensive coordinator who's running the offensive coach. I mean, the head coach position at Ole Miss. Kiffin, I'm talking about, of course. We get a little help here. Boom. Now Georgia has 2 losses, right? But even if they don't, if Missouri beats, Georgia has to lose here or has to lose here. And if that happens, then this game right here, Georgia-Tennessee on the 18th, will be for the East Championship. Right? Am I reading this wrong? Am I misinterpreting this? And on that same day, Florida's going to LSU, and they're going to get their ass beat there. I mean, they're not going to beat LSU at LSU. That's not going to happen. So, boom. Those are the things that need to happen. I'll leave this up on the screen just a little bit so you can look at it and tell me where I'm wrong. And I'm not saying I'm not wrong. I'm just saying this is the way I see it. But I tell you what I am right about, what I think I'm right about, is this thing right here. Missouri, that's $100 right there. Yeah, it is. And then, see, we are the champs of the East, and then we go and we play in the SEC Championship. Who do y'all think is going to be in that game from the West? Tell me, who do you think? Holy crackers, we got some stuff. All right, let's go. Meat Drinker, Florida, Bama, Kentucky, all road games, 12 quarters. Only one live action penalty has been called in 12 quarters on Tennessee opponents. You know, I heard that earlier today. Are you reading that from my comment section? Or do you know that as well? I wasn't aware of that until it was, I was made aware in the comment section today. And I responded in this super hyper world of corruption on steroids. I've never seen it. I never imagined anything so corrupt as the world is right now. I mean, it is so fucked up. I mean, it's laughable. You just have to hunker down, if you know what I mean. Watch your back. Watch your six. So you may be right. I've never bought into, and this is maybe just Rocket Man being a little naive. I've never bought into there is a conspiracy there of football referees that do this and do that and to get an outcome. Now, what is the point of that? And I say that because, well, I guess they could get paid to do that, couldn't they? Who would pay them to do that? Vegas Rocket. Oh, Tony. So that's why that guy has a boat. Am I making that up? Is that how y'all think it works? Because I don't know. I've never given it. I just thought they were stupid. But you're saying it's stupid on a very high financial level. Is that what you're saying to me, Mead? Holy crackers. Cav. Yeah, I heard others talking about the penalty discrepancy and how it's not only bizarre, but nearly impossible. Okay, hang on a second. I'm going to come back to these comments. I want to get them, but I want to make sure I show you something. I told you yesterday in yesterday's video that I was going to share something with you. Now, you hear me all the time talking about, these people who go into these press conferences, they don't ask tough questions. They don't ask them. Come on, man. Ask them why they suck. That sort of thing. And anything I may say, I'm not spewing it personally. I love Josh Heupel. I love Danny White. I love Joe Milton III. And I love this football team, and I love how Heupel loves his football team, right? But these press guys just... they just don't ask any tough questions. Watch this. Some guy named David, you may or may not know who he is, asked Heupel after the Kentucky game, essentially, I'm going to paraphrase it. Dude, how come we've been killing it with tackles for losses and with sacks and with pressures on the quarterback, and you didn't get to Devin Neary once? Watch this.
Josh, what were they able to do? You guys have been so consistent with your sacks, TFLs, quarterback hurries. What were they doing to keep Devin for the longest time kind of protected in that time?
Okay, next question.
Oh, man. Okay. That's brutal. Let me play that again. Just so you can see it. That's brutal. What he did to that reporter. That's why they don't ask the questions. Watch.
Josh, what were they able to do? You guys have been so consistent with your sacks, TFLs, quarterback hurries. What were they doing to keep Devin for the longest time kind of protected in that time?
Okay, next question.
I would like to hear your comments on that. So I'll ask somebody anything. Most of the time. Because that's what I did for 15 years on the radio, is just ask people embarrassing questions. I don't think I'd want to go to a press conference with Heupel and ask him a question that he did not want to hear. God. So first of all, he got the little eye glance, and then he got the ignore. And then he got the glare, the stare down, and then the ignore. And then the silence that lasted what seemed to be a lifetime. And then back to the stare down. Next question. Holy crackers. That was beautiful. I fell in love with Josh Heupel because of that. I mean, that kind of got rid of my thinking about him not being tough enough for the job of head coach, dealing with the press. Dude is badass. Because I remember him, see, when I had my radio show back in Omaha, back when he was the quarterback and won the national championship, right? Came in second in the Heisman. I hated that guy because he was such a bastard. He was so tough. And I see him in these press conferences, and he says, well, he's just meek and mild, and there's some things we got to clean up. And I'm going, dude, that's not the guy that I remember playing football. That's the guy that I remember playing football right there. I hope y'all enjoyed that. That's brilliant. That's just brilliant. Mead Drinker says they are afraid of Heupel. I've heard that they think Heupel jumped the line. Jumped the line. Oh, of Succession. Oh, he didn't put in his time. Is what you're saying, Mead. Is that what you mean? Had too much success in a short time. The SC game might have been hit on us by multiple coaches. Wow. Wow. Man, Mead, you are a conspiracy dude, aren't you? You may be right. Wow. Purple. I really hope we can pull it off, but I got a bad feeling the refs probably going to need a shoulder surgery after the Tennessee-Georgia game from throwing all those things, I guess. Yeah. Mead, I heard that earlier somewhere. Cab, other Vol shows. Gotcha. Cavalry, Fusillade, Jimmy Hyams off the hook, Boogie's talking Vols. Okay, on 3. Yeah, okay, got it. Mead Drinker. Yeah. MK Zipper Club Rocket. Death penalty for Wolverines. What you think? Cheating far worse than what SMU did. You know what? I got to be honest. I'm trying to get another channel and a business up, and I haven't. I've only been following Tennessee. I have no idea what's going. Well, that's not true. I have a little idea about what's going on at Michigan, and I will promise you I will catch myself up to date on that tomorrow. But I have just been really focused on Tennessee here in this whole, who we got to play and whatever, right? Oh God, that's amazing. Robert Duncan, Rocket Top Insider was the one I heard about the official calling penalties on the home team. Wow. Or not calling penalties for the home team. Yeah, that's crazy. What do y'all think about Heupel's glare there? That was nuts to me. Now, here's something else, okay, I want to show you. This is something I did not know. I wasn't aware of. I want you to look at this brace that's on Bazooka Joe's leg. I mean, this is the same brace that a tackle or a guard is going to wear. I didn't realize he was hurt that bad. And I know it's precautionary, but they've done a very good job of disguising this, right? Look at that. That's crazy. Damn. So he is hurt, or has been. Seems like he's doing pretty well now. I'm sorry, MK Zipper. I don't have a take on the Michigan thing yet, but I will soon. Thank you for prodding me on that. I want to go back here just for another second, just for another little bit, just so we understand what's going on. Tennessee's got to win out. UConn, Mizzou, Georgia, and Vandy. This weekend, this is the game to watch this weekend, and fortunately, they play right after we play. Right? We ought to just extend the live watch party and watch this one as well. Hell, I may do that. We really want Mizzou to beat Georgia. But if that doesn't happen, I really do think it's going to be a plus 16 in Missouri. You can make yourself a little money. Now, I shouldn't say that. I should not recommend that you go do that and then you lose money and then you'd be mad at me. So I'm just telling you what I'm going to do. And I'll be the fool if it falls together, falls apart. Ole Miss and Georgia. Now, and then we have, Georgia, Tennessee. Now, somebody coach me up here on this Ole Miss game. Now, Ole Miss obviously is in the West. If they lose this game, and I haven't verified this with the Southeastern Conference rule book. So I have been told and have assumed many times that a conference loss is a conference loss and it doesn't matter where you are in the division. Is that correct? Or do I have that wrong? Can somebody in here verify that for me? Right? For example, so if Missouri should beat Georgia, and then Ole Miss beats Georgia, that's their two losses, right? But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to this. It's going to, I mean, to me, that's just so exciting. Tennessee and Georgia at Neyland for the championship oh man, does that excite anybody else besides me? I love that idea a whole lot. Let's see, who we got? Rocket Up, I heard about the penalties on home team. Meat Drinker, yeah, they are merely speculation. Sure they are. Yeah, but I remember that guy in the NBA. Remember that guy in the NBA who got busted for this very thing? Right? Remember that guy? It was about 15 years ago or so. And he got busted, and I think he got busted for shaving points or calling fouls or not, doing what we're talking about here. And he ended up going to jail, right? As a referee. Remember that guy? I can't remember his name, but so Robert Duncan, Hype did the same thing after the Alabama game. Yeah, he did that after the Alabama game, but it was different after the Alabama game. Robert, the question at the Alabama game where he gave the glare, the hypo scowl, that's what I'm calling it from now on. The hypo scowl. It's not even a scowl. It's kind of a laser glare, right? Said, I will see you at your car in the parking lot kind of look, right? No. The question that he was asked at Alabama was about the bad officiating. Okay? And so he just mums the word, right? He wasn't going to say anything to get himself in trouble. But this question was directly pointed at him. That question was saying, hey, how come your defense sucks so much tonight? As a difference, right? First one was about how come the refs suck so much, and this one was about how much your defense sucks so much. And so it had a real personal thing on it. Well, that's the way I read it anyway. Eric B. Jones and Associates, the Ambulance Chaser. Thank you for being here. Conference loss is a conference loss no matter whether you're in the East or the West. Well, that's what I've always presumed, but I didn't know for sure. Thank y'all for clearing that up. All right, good enough. Meat Drinker, what about Connor Stallion's 007 spy glasses in disguise, espionage in the CFB? Is that really true? I mean, did that really happen? Is it? The world can't be. I'm so stupid sometimes. The world can't be this corrupt. I mean, it's football, for crying out loud. These are kids playing a football game. And people turn it into CIA. Bad spy, good spy. Mad Magazine. What the hell? Calvary. Wow. Was that 15 years ago? You're talking about the ref that was betting on the games too? Yeah, that guy. And I knew him slightly because, again, when I was in Omaha, there was a CBA team there called the Omaha Racers. They were very good. They put a lot of people up, but Tim Legler was one of my best friends and he played for the Racers, and that's where he came from. And I knew that guy because I was so important. I had courtside seats, right? Floor seats. And we would hassle that guy a whole lot. He was just kind of a dweeby kind of guy, a little out of shape and, running up down the court. And then the next thing we knew, he was in the NBA. And then the next thing I knew, he was going to jail for betting, gambling on basketball games that he was like refereeing. Dude, you can't do that. Even I know that. Sheesh. Robert Duncan. Yeah, sorry, you are absolutely right. Sorry about that. No problem. No problem. There's a distinction there. I love media. I love people and how they respond to questions. I listen to them. with a good sharp ear. And boy, I've never seen. That guy shit his pants. I'm sure he did. I am sure he did. He just thought he was, and he wasn't mean with the question. It was just the wrong question. Oh man, I love that. Calvary, yes, they have photo of him wearing the glasses with the blue lights on them. No shit, are you kidding me? Oh man. I can't believe that. Wow. Now, is this all connected to the whole crap that's going on with the Michigan thing? With Harbaugh? Hey, I wear sunglasses at night all the time because my future is so bright. So that guy is in the South Carolina stands with sunglasses with beeping blue lights, trying to steal the signals from the guys with the big black flags behind them. Right? Is that what you're telling me? Holy crackers. That's just hard for me to believe. All right. Anybody ask your questions if you need them, because I'm almost out of here. I do have one rib. And I have some wangs. Actually, they're drummies. I prefer drummies to wings. Anyway, little small ones. The glasses he was wearing were recording glasses. Mead and I were watching the same shows. Sunglasses at night. Probably Sports Talk, Jay. Calvary, yes, me drinker. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. I will. Obviously, we got to win this game this weekend, and we will. And I think we'll see a healthy amount of Nico. I do believe, if all goes well. And that will be good. Does everybody agree with me that we got to get this guy in here and not leave him just a freshman again next year without any game time experience under live ammo? Right? I mean, right? Aren't we? And there's only a couple spots we can see him in, and that's this weekend in Vanderbilt, right? Daniel Bergner just finished watching Matt Be Great video where he discussed the Stallion's glasses incident. CMU. All right. I'm on that. I'll get caught up on that so I can at least have a conversation with you. Meat Drinker, thank you, sir. Cheers. MK Zipper Club, rumor has it that perhaps the Wolverines cheating actually helped the Gamecock season versus the Vols. Now, that's what I heard. That's the bit of it that I heard. I heard that he had field seats right behind the bench, South Carolina bench, and was doing the old good spy, bad spy thing. That's what I heard. So, we'll see. All right. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. And we'll have a watch party at 11 a.m. Central, 12 noon on Saturday to see how we are progressing. I would love to see Joe get another couple hundred yards, and then get Nico in there and let him get another couple hundred yards. Wouldn't that be great? Yee! All right, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, and go Big Orange. See you Saturday.